Hey everyone, in this video we'll talk about that how we can implement toStack using array. Let's start. So let's understand at first that what is basically toStack is. So whenever we implement stack using array, then we just take one single array, we just keep on pushing the data in that array. So in toStack what we'll do, we will divide the array into two parts. So let's say that the size of the array is 4. So then we'll divide that array into two parts. So let's say that we have two stacks like this. So at first we have to divide the array into two parts. So how we can implement our first stack? We will keep our first stack within 0 to mid minus 1. Let's say that 0, 1, 2, 3. Now what is the size of the stack? The size of the stack is 4. So we'll go up to mid minus 1. What will be the mid? Mid will be 2 minus 1. So 0 and 1 will be our first stack, and size minus 1 to mid. So what is the size? The size is 4. 4 minus 1, it means 3 to mid. What is the mid? 2. So it will be the other stack. Both the stack will grow opposite to each other. So the first stack will go like this and the second stack will go like this. In the next slide we'll discuss that thing in more detail. The fifth point is consider the same operations. So push, pop, pick, all the functions will be there, only indexing will be different. So I think these portions are clear that what are the key points of your toStack. Now we'll see that how we can implement a toStack. So now you can see that we have one array over there. So what is the size of the array? The size of the array is 10. Let's say n equals to 10. Now what we have to do, we have to divide this array into two parts. The first stack will go in this direction and the second stack will go in this direction. So first stack will go in the forward direction and the second stack will go in the backward direction. So now what we'll do, let's say that we'll push 20 in our first stack. So our first stack is going into the forward direction. So the first stack will be 0 to mid minus 1. So what is the value of mid? The value of mid is 5. So it will go up to 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to this. And the second stack will go up to size minus 1 to mid. So what is the size minus 1? That is 9 to mid. So let's say that 9 to mid. The value of the mid is 5. So this is our first stack and this is our second stack. Yeah. Now let's say that we'll push 20. So where it will go? You just pause this video and write in the comment section. If we push 20, where it will go? So it will go in the 0th index because we are calling this function that push first stack. If we push 40, then where it will go? It will go at the first location, that is 1. So we'll get 40 over here. So this is how we can push anything in the first stack. Now let's say we'll push 90. You just pause this video and write in the comment section that where will push the value. You just pause this video and write in the comment section. Here at the 5th position or at the 9th position. You just pause this video and write in the comment section. So I think we have written the command. Now we'll push at the 9th position because we are going into the backward direction, and push second stack, it will also go into this location, that is 80. So I think these portions are clear that how we can push any element into toStack. So now we'll see that how we can implement push operation into the first stack. So you can see that we have a function that is push first stack and we are passing some value here. Now at first what we have to check? We have to check that our stack is overflow or not. Now whenever we are trying to implement any stack, we have to remember two things, that our stack is overflow or not, or our stack is underflow or not. So what we have to do? We have to check the overflow condition. So for the first stack, what will be the overflow condition? For the first stack, the highest range will be mid minus 1. So we'll check that top first plus 1 is less than mid or not. So we have already gone through this approach that what is not overflow condition. So if you don't know that what is stack and what is overflow or underflow condition, you just click on the I button and at first watch that video. So in that video I have explained this thing in more detail. So what do we have to check? That we have to check top first plus 1 less than mid. So what is the list? Say that n equals to 10. Now, or you can say that max equals to 10. Max equals to 10. Now what will be the value of mid? The value of mid will be 5. So let's say that we have a stack like this, 0 1 2 3 4, and we have the stack after that. Now at first let's say that we'll insert 10. Now what we'll do, we'll check that top first plus 1 is less than mid or not. So what is the value of top first? The value of top first is -1. So we'll check that -1 plus 1 is less than mid or not. So what is the value of mid here? That is 5. So 0 is less than 5. So we'll insert 10. Now let's say that we'll insert 20. 20 here, 30 here, 40 here. Now what is the value of the top? That is 3. If we are trying to insert 40 or 50. Now what we'll check? We'll check that 3 plus 1 is less than mid or not. 3 plus 1 is less than mid. So 4, we'll insert 50 here. Now we'll check that where our not overflow condition is false. Now we'll try to insert another value, that is 60. Now what is the value of the top? The value of the top first is 4. We'll just check 4 plus 1 is less than 5 or not. So 4 plus 1 is not less than 5 because 5 equals to 5. So it will break the condition. So we cannot insert any value. So at first what we'll do, we'll just check this condition. If this condition is satisfied, then we'll just increment our top first and we'll just push the value. So I think this portion is clear that how we can push anything into our first stack. So if you have any doubt up to this, just write in the comment section. Now we'll see that how we can implement this thing into the second stack. So you can see that we have a function that is push second stack. Now what we have to do, we have to check the not overflow condition for the second stack. So for the second stack, we'll go in the backward direction. So let's say that this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So what we'll do, we'll just check that our stack is overflow or not. So what will be the condition? It will be top second -1 is greater than mid or not. So what is the value of the top second? That is max. That is 10. Max equals to 10 as well. So we'll check that our stack is overflowing or not. Now let's say that we'll push 6 values again, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. My handwriting is very bad. So what is the value of the top second? At first the value of the top second is 10. So what we'll do, we'll check that 10 minus 1 is greater than mid minus 1 or not. So what is the value of mid minus 1? Mid minus 1 equals to 4. So we have to check that 9 is greater than 4 or not. 9 is greater than 4. So we'll push 10. Then again what we'll do, we'll just decrement our top second, that is the counter, that is this one. Then what will be the value of the top second? It will be 9. Now for inserting 20, what we'll do, we'll check that 9 minus 1 is greater than 4 or not. So what is the 9 minus 1? That is 8. 8 is also greater than 4. So we'll just push 20 at the 8th position. Now what is the value of the top? That is 8. Then we'll do the same thing for 7, that is 30, 40 and 50. Now what is the value of the top second? The value of the top second is 5. So if we are trying to insert 60 here, what it will do? 60, let's say 60. Now what it will do? It will just check that what is the value of the top? That is 5. I mean top second. 5. 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 is not greater than 4. So it means we cannot insert 60 into this stack. So this is how we can push any element in the second stack. So I think these portions are clear. Now we'll see that how we can implement pop in the first stack. So the pop function is almost similar as your normal stack. Now we'll check that how we can check the not overflow condition for the first stack. So let's say that what will be the edge case for your not underflow first function. Now let's say that we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the values we have in our stack. Now let's say that we don't have any value within our stack. Now what will be the value of the top first? It will be -1. So we have to check that -1 plus 1 is greater than 0 or not. So what will be the value of the -1 plus 1? It will be 0, right? It will be 0. So 0 is not greater than 0. So it means we cannot push anything. So let's say that we are trying to pop this element, that is 5. So we'll simply check that. Now what is the value of the top? That is 4. 4 plus 1 equals to 5. 5 is greater than 0. It means we can pop the element. And let's say that we are at this position. We don't have these values within our stack. It means we have only one value, that is 1. So for popping this element, we'll just check that 0 plus 1, it will be 1. 1 is also greater than 0. It means we can pop this element from the stack. So this is how we can implement the pop function into our first stack. So now we'll see that how we can implement pop function within our second stack. So for the second stack, what will be the top second? It will be our max, like it will be n, 10. So what will be the not underflow second condition? It will be top second is less than max or not. So let's say that we 9, 8, 7. So we are keeping the size of the array as 10. Let's say that we have 100. Now what we'll do, we'll just check that our top second is less than max or not. Now for popping this value, we have to check that 9 is less than 10 or not. 9 is less than 10. It means we can pop the element. So after popping this element, what will be the value of the top second? It will be 10. Now, so what we are doing here, after popping the element, we are incrementing the top second. So it will be 10. So 10 is not less than 10. So it means that function will be terminated. So this is how we can implement push and pop function in two stacks. So I think these portions are clear. If you have any doubt, just write in the comment section. Now we'll see that how we can implement these things into the code. So as you can see in my screen that we have declared the stack. We have taken the max as 10. This is the not overflow first. This is the not overflow second. I have already discussed about these things. This is the not underflow first. This is the not underflow second. Now I have taken one function, that is print to stack. So this function is not related to a stack. I have just used this function only for your reference. So you just take a screenshot and you can implement this code by yourself. So I am scrolling down a bit slowly that you can implement the codes by yourself. So I think you have seen that how we have defined the function. Now this function is for inserting anything in your first stack. So for inserting anything, what we'll do, we'll check that the function is overflow or not. So we'll call that not overflow first function. And for pushing anything in the second stack, we'll just check that our function is overflow or not for the second stack. And we'll do the same thing for the pop, that is we'll check that. So this function is for checking that our first stack is underflow or not, and this function is for checking that our first stack is overflow or not. So this is the pop stack second function. And this is the main function. So at first we'll make sure that both of the stacks contain 0 values. Now what is the size of the stack? That is 10. So we can insert only 5 elements in both of the stacks. So in this case our stack will show us the stack overflow condition for the first stack. So we can only insert up to 5, and this is for the second stack. At this point we'll just get a stack overflow for the second stack because we can only push 5 values. Then we'll print the stack, then we'll pop some values from the first and second stack. So here we are popping 2 values from the first stack, here we are popping 2 values from the second stack, and here we are printing 2 stacks. So these functions are for popping values from the first stack. At this function we'll get that first stack is underflow, and at this case we'll also get that second stack is underflow. So here we are printing 2 stacks again. So I think these portions are clear that how we have implemented 2 stacks. So let me compile the code. So I have compiled the code. So we can see that at first we are printing two stacks. At first we are getting stack underflow for the first stack, stack underflow for the second stack. Then we are pushing 1 into the first stack, 2 into the first stack, 3, 4, 5, and for the 6 we are getting first stack is overflow. And so here we are inserting 5 elements in the second stack and we are getting overflow for the second stack. So here we are printing 5 elements of the first stack, here we are printing 5 elements for the second stack. And here we are popping 2 elements for the first stack, popping 2 elements for the second stack. Here we are printing the values. So after popping 2 elements, the values in the stacks are 1, 2, 3 because we have followed the LIFO manner. So at last what we have inserted 5 and 4. We have popped 5 and 4. You can see that we have popped in LIFO manner. So these are the values we have within our first and second stack. So now we are popping 3, 2, 1 from the first stack and we are popping 8, 9, 10 from the second stack, and at last we are printing that both of the stacks are underflow. So this is a long video that we have covered. So in this video we have discussed that how we can implement two stacks. We have discussed about the algorithm, we have discussed about the dry run, and we have also implemented the code. So if you have any doubt, just write in the comment section. If you like the video, just hit the like button. See you in the next video.